Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to our channel. I've got a Seiko review for you today. Haven't done one of these for a while. This is the SSC817P1. It's a fairly new model. I believe it was released about 3 months ago and it instantly became very popular, which is something that I didn't quite understand until I got the chance to spend some time with it. Before we start, I just want to let you know that I borrowed this watch from relojeriaesparta.com here in Spain. You know that I do that a lot when it comes to Seiko, Citizen and Casio watches. As you can see, this model retails for €680, but if you contact these guys via their WhatsApp, email or Instagram, they will give you a special discount, which I'm sure you appreciate very much. Now let's start with the review and see whether paying that much for this piece is actually worth it. One of the reasons why this Seiko is so appealing are the compact dimensions. You're looking at a case diameter of 39.5mm, the thickness is 13.5, whereas the lug-to-lug is extremely short as it measures only 45.5mm, but please do keep in mind that the bracelet end links stick out a little bit on both sides. However, the lug width is standard 20mm, which means that you can replace the bracelet with your favorite strap. And for you to get an idea, here is how the watch looks on my 17cm or 6.7 inch wrist. You have to admit, guys, that this Seiko looks very good on the wrist, and although I haven't resized it, because once again I don't own it, it seems like it will wear quite comfortable. Then due to the solid build of the case and the bracelet, it also has some nice weight to it. Unsized, it comes at 162 grams. Next, let's talk about the design, the build quality and the finishing. Obviously, this is a 3-register chronograph with 316L steel case and bracelet. The build quality is excellent and the finishing is not bad either. The high polishing on the sides of the case is pretty good, but the vertical brushing is not as fine as I would have liked, but it is consistent. This model features a screw-down case back, but no screw-down crown nor pushers, and still manages to offer 100 meters of water resistance, which is pretty impressive as most chrono watches are water resistant to 50 meters only. As you're probably aware, Seiko are often criticized for not using sapphire crystal on most of their entry and mid-tier watches, as well as for their not so great bracelets. Well, you'll be happy to hear that this model comes with a very thick piece of sapphire crystal, which also has air coating on the underside. It sits slightly above the bezel, and being single domed, it also gives you some really cool distortions depending on the angle where you look at it from. Secondly, the bracelet is good enough for you not to want to replace it with one from Strapcode, which is what I usually do almost every time I buy a Seiko, and that, guys, is a huge compliment. It may come with push pins instead of screws, but it is well built, all links are solid, including the end links, and the clasp is milled. It comes with 2 micro adjustment points only, but the individual links aren't very long, so most people will be able to get a perfect fit. When it comes to design, the Rolex Daytona gets mentioned a lot, but if you look closely, there are more differences than similarities between the two. I'm not even sure that you can call this one an homage, because besides the dial layout and the bezel, there isn't much that both models have in common. By the way, guys, the bezel looks like it's made of ceramic, but it isn't, it's actually black coated steel. Anyway, that doesn't take away from the fact that Seiko has made a great looking watch, and the dial is definitely the most impressive aspect of it. It is textured, and this golden sand color is gorgeous and very underrated in my opinion. Most people seem to be going for the white panda, but personally I prefer the vintage look of this one more. The overall execution of the dial is great, and even upon closer inspection you can't see many imperfections. The applied logo, indices and hands are very well finished too. My only complaint here is the date. It just doesn't seem very well integrated, and it hurts a bit the otherwise perfect symmetry of the dial. Alright, next let's have a word about the V192 Caliber that's powering this watch. It's a solar quartz movement with an average accuracy of ± 15 seconds a month, and on a full charge you can expect it to operate for approximately half a year. The chronograph can be used to time intervals of up to 60 minutes, and it can be easily started, stopped and reset by pressing the pushers, which have a decent tactile feedback. To be honest guys, I don't have any previous experience with this movement, but it seems to me as a fair choice for the price, which once again with a decent discount of let's say 15% comes at around 580 euro, and that's not bad at all. So, would I buy this watch myself then? Probably not. I mean, it's much better than I expected, it looks awesome on the wrist, build quality is great, but there are other watches that I'm much more excited about, like this Seiko Samurai Shoe Hero limited edition with a gorgeous red dial that I'm going to be reviewing next. Definitely subscribe if you don't want to miss it out. That being said, if you're looking for a decent grab-and-go chronograph to complement your Seiko collection with, then this speed timer is definitely worth your consideration. That's the end of today's video guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about this watch in the comments below, I would love to read your opinions. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.